Okay, so let's start recording this. Okay, so if you're ready, I'm going to let you listen, and then we just follow the instruction. But instead of just doing the whole listening, we just stop time by time to discuss it about it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
You will hear 3 different extracts. For questions 1 to 6, choose the answer A, B, or C, which fits best according to what you hear. There are 2 questions for each extract. Extract 1. You hear 2 business people discussing a workshop they have just attended. Now look at questions 1 and 2.
I quite enjoyed that workshop, didn't you? I'd expected it to be a waste of time.
Me too. And that would have been ironic for a session focusing on time management. It's not exactly something we haven't discussed endlessly before.
Well, that doesn't mean we know all there is to be known. I thought some very useful points came up.
Yes. I like the presenter's comment that you should get someone else to take all the relatively unimportant decisions so you can give all your attention to the big ones.
You mean like getting your PA to choose your lunch for you? It's a good idea, but I'd heard it before. I read about a US president who only wore grey suits so he didn't waste time deciding what to wear in the mornings. Actually, I thought it was the other people there who came up with ideas that I hadn't thought of before.
You've got a point. I like that man's argument that daydreaming is actually a constructive activity rather than a waste of time. I'm going to get hold of the article he recommended about that.
And then make more time for daydreaming?
I'm afraid I do quite enough of that already. I've often been advised to work on my concentration skills.
Okay, that was extract 1. How was it?
I think I got it, but I don't want to, you know, to try my luck. So I say that I think you got.
I have to be optimist anyway.
So
that's it. And trust in yourself. That is the best thing you can do when you have to get an exam. That's just you there. Okay, so exam practice. Let's go on. Tell me.
Okay, so I think they agree about the participants who made some sensible suggestions, because like in the first part, the woman says like, oh, I like what the presenter was talking about, but he said, no, I mean, I don't want no, I want nobody to like choose what I have to do, like to tell me that I have to do something for lunch, like what I have to eat. And so I think that they agree about that. And I think like in the very short final part, the woman mentioned something about her will to read about something else about the topic that they were talking about, but I'm not sure. I think so.
Okay, that's anyway, you did well. Yes. And what about the second question? What is the woman planning to do next?
Yeah, I think it's about sorry, that she wants to read about something related, but I'm not sure. It's not. She's not.
It is. Okay,
yeah. Okay.
And you know why it's not, for example, it's not A. Why did you just choose it by because you understood, or because you wanted to exclude what you think that is what wasn't they weren't talking about it?
Because I mean she was actually speaking and she was not mentioning anything that she wanted to do, but in the very final part she said, oh, maybe I'm going to explore something else about what we talked about.
Okay, good. That's perfect.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, very well. Okay, let's go on the second extract.
Okay, yeah.
I quite enjoyed that workshop, didn't you? I'd expected it to be a waste of time.
Me too. And that would have been ironic for a session focusing on time management.
It's not exactly something we haven't discussed endlessly before.
Well, that doesn't mean we know all there is to be known. I thought some very useful points came up.
Yes, I like the presenter's comment that you should get someone else to take all the relatively unimportant decisions so you can give all your attention to the big ones.
You mean like getting your PA to choose your lunch for you? It's a good idea, but I'd heard it before. I read about a US president who only bought grey suits so he didn't waste time deciding what to wear in the mornings. Actually, I thought it was the other people there who came up with ideas that I hadn't thought of before.
You've got a point. I like that man's argument that daydreaming is actually a constructive activity rather than a waste of time. I'm going to get hold of the article he recommended about that.
And then make more time for daydreaming?
I'm afraid I do quite enough of that already. I've often been advised to work on my concentration skills.
Okay, I see. So I think that in the final part they try to trick you by saying, oh yeah, I mean you should stop daydreaming, and she said, oh yeah, I have to work on that, but she doesn't actually focuses on that part. She focuses on the fact that she wants to read more about the topic.
Okay, so you did well. Yeah. Okay, that's fantastic.
That's
that's
when like watching Netflix series comes in hand. I mean, that's just me watching Netflix in English, I think.
Are you?
Yeah, I do.
Of course you do. Okay, so that's perfect. I think you did it well. You know, the advice is that did you read the advice that you got in your book, that in a question that asks, you know, or what about the agreement? But I think that the advice is here, they are you just overcome them because you did well even without. Because you know, this book is fantastic if you never, but did you already had your exam? I mean, at any other Cambridge exam?
I actually had to take the C2 like 2 years ago, but I didn't.
The first certificate, you mean the B2?
The C2, the
C2,
proficiency.
the proficiency.
Yeah, I had to, but I actually didn't. And when I was in high school, I actually took the C1, but I scored 179. So for 1 point, I didn't get the C1.
That means that you got a B2 anyway.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
No, it's just to do if you already face this kind of exam, because in this book there's a lot of stuff explaining you how to face an exam, this kind of exam, because it's for people that are enrolled at the university, it's not so difficult, because usually many tests at the university now, they just follow the same schedule, the same thing, so they're following it. But for people that never had an exam like this before, they need to know how to face the exam, not the English. It's not about English, it's about the structure of the whole exam. So there's a lot of stuff that you can just jump on and going on, because it's not useful for you because you already had this kind of experience. So of course these books are made for everybody, and they're not supposed to you're not supposed to know already the structure of the exam. So sometimes they are repeating the same things, but you know, for any student it could be it's up to you what to do. So let's have a look. Going now, we're going to the extract 2, and I'm going to it completely, okay, without stopping between the two kind of conversation, because you have these two students, and then you have number 3 and number 4. So we are going to listen to it completely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about a project they are working on. Now look at questions 3 and 4.
Now we've had the tutor's comments back on the first draft of our psychology project, I suppose we'd better start thinking about where to take things from here.
I've got time now if you have.
Well, that's fine with me. So, it's good we've had some positive comments on what we've done so far. It's just a pity he now says we've got to include more concrete examples. The ways in which advertisers make use of insights gained from the psychology of perception.
Well, I can see how it'll improve our work.
Absolutely. But it's just a bit annoying he didn't mention it 2 weeks ago. We could have been looking out for examples as we were doing our background reading.
Oh, well, it can't be helped. If you like, I'll copy some illustrations from that book he recommended. My flatmates just borrowed it from the university library. I think that's all we'll need to add, really.
That'd be great. I'll make sure our figures are accurate. I mean, the ones the tutor questioned.
Okay, I'm sure they're right, though. I wrote them down very carefully when we were doing our various little experiments.
I'm sure you did, but it won't hurt to check. Now we've had the tutor's comments back on the first draft of our psychology project, I suppose we'd better start thinking about where to take things from here.
I've got time now if you have.
Well, that's fine with me. So, it's good we've had some positive comments on what we've done so far. It's just a pity he now says we've got to include more concrete examples. The ways in which advertisers make use of insights gained from the psychology of perception.
Well, I can see how it'll improve our work.
Absolutely. But it's just a bit annoying he didn't mention it 2 weeks ago. We could have been looking out for examples as we were doing our background reading.
Oh, well, it can't be helped. If you like, I'll copy some illustrations from that book he recommended. My flatmates just borrowed it from the university library. I think that's all we'll need to add, really.
That'd be great. I'll make sure our figures are accurate. I mean, the ones the tutor questioned.
Okay, I'm sure they're right, though. I wrote them down very carefully when we were doing our various little experiments.
I'm sure you did, but it won't hurt to check.
Okay. Oh, sorry, didn't finish.
Okay.
Extract 3.
Yes, I did. I'm always afraid to stop it before it's finishing. Okay. Okay, what about 3? What do you think?
Okay, so I think that she was complaining that they didn't tell them, I think, to put some more examples or something like this in the project. So I put B, because I think that she was complaining that no one told them to do that. So I think the most, accurate thing here is being frustrated that they fail to offer some guidance.
She's more frustrated than disappointed or annoyed, because actually she knows it wasn't fair, the treatment that she was under, and that's why yes, a B is it's okay, because it's just the difference between disappointed, frustrated, annoyed. They are very similar, but you can't use one for the other. Okay. And what about number 4?
I actually put C, because I think that he tells her that his flatmate actually borrowed some books and that he can actually check the information on the books, but I'm not sure.
No, actually it was A.
Okay.
Because the C is not because the woman promises to do this.
Okay.
Actually, and it's not B because they've already done some experiments. So they are talking, of course they are not mentioning the word visual material, but they are talking about images, and I don't know if they even mentioned some slides probably or something like that. So they are talking about visual materials, but they're not using the word visual material as they usually do. But that's okay. I mean, 3 and 4. Do you want to hear the last one?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
That's okay. Okay, these 2 colleagues discussing an issue at work.
You hear 2 colleagues discussing an issue at work. Now look at questions 5 and 6.
Gemma, do you think I could have a quick word?
No problem. Did you want to discuss the sales and profits targets that I've drafted for next year?
That's right. Do you really think it's feasible that we'll be able to meet them?
Well, if we can create as much interest as we hope for in North America, then we should get there. And it's all looking quite promising, despite some fluctuations earlier in the year. You don't want me to revise the targets, do you?
Probably not, but I've got a conference call with our New York office at 3 this afternoon, and it'd be good if you could be there so we can talk them through together. Is that all right with you?
Well, I'd arranged to meet someone from HR then, but I can tell them I'll be a bit late.
Thanks. I'm really keen that we don't set ourselves unrealistic aims, though a bit of a challenge is always a good thing, of course.
Sure. And don't forget that we're spending less on the manufacturing process now. I was astonished to learn just how much less wastage there is now with our new machines. That'll help the bottom line.
Absolutely. Gemma, do you think I could have a quick word?
No problem. Did you want to discuss the sales and profits targets that I've drafted for next year?
That's right. Do you really think it's feasible that we'll be able to meet them?
Well, if we can create as much interest as we hope for in North America, then we should get there. And it's all looking quite promising, despite some fluctuations earlier in the year. You don't want me to revise the targets, do you?
Probably not, but I've got a conference call with our New York office at 3 this afternoon, and it'd be good if you could be there so we can talk them through together. Is that all right with you?
Well, I'd arranged to meet someone from HR then, but I can tell them I'll be a bit late.
Thanks. I'm really keen that we don't set ourselves unrealistic aims, though a bit of a challenge is always a good thing, of course.
Sure. And don't forget that we're spending less on the manufacturing process now. I was astonished to learn just how much less wastage there is now with our new machines. That'll help the bottom line.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that was maybe even easier than the other one.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably even is because of the subject they are discussing about. Anyway, okay, tell me, which are your...
I put for number 5, I put actually A, because I think he was mentioning like, I'm going to have a conference call with some big guys, so if you want to be there, I mean, it's going to be nice. And she said, well, yeah, I think I have stuff to do, but if I can manage it, I'll come. And then in number 6, I put C, because I think that she said she was shocked by the fact that they are spending less on manufacture or something like this.
Yes, on some cost. Yes, perfect. Yes. She's not recently completed task. No, you did it very well. That's okay. So let's go in on listening. I'm just watching the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you have the listening, the audio part?
Yeah, because I think I can download.
Yes, you can download. Or if you want it, I already downloaded. So if you want me, I can send it to you. Yeah, so you're not looking on how to download and so on. I'm just looking. So you can do the part 2 and 3 and 4 together.
Mm-hmm.
While the most important thing is to start to, because the thing we could do, because you don't have so much time actually, not probably the time that you have here is here and there, well, while you are studying other stuff. When are you supposed to do your, what about your exam? I didn't ask you.
I actually don't know, because I actually had some connection issues, so actually my PC like completely turned off, like it turned off while I actually was doing the exam, so I had to actually get back inside the website exam, and I lost I think 10 minutes out of 30 minutes, because like this woman is crazy, like this teacher of us is, I mean, she's really crazy, and she actually got us half an hour for 3 different questions on like 3 different books. and we had 10 minutes per question, and my computer turned off, so I had to rejoin the exam, and I don't know how actually it went. I am very, you know, precise, and even, you know, too much precise with the exams and the votes and everything. So I actually think I'm going to retake it, but if I got more than 27, I think I'll just keep it. Because I mean, I'm
come on, 27
I'm so frustrated about it. I just don't want to retake it, because she's crazy. I mean, you cannot give us half an hour for an exam, like 3 questions, like open question that you have to do on your own. I mean,
I don't know if this is the fault of the moment, that they don't know how to face actually with the internet and with the digital devices. Sometimes they're getting even more crazy than ever. But you know, each professor has got his own features. So sometimes the problem is that this period is letting them getting out all the worst part that we have inside, or for some it's just the opposite. So they just start to work more and to do their best. Because I see, for example, that for students, it has been a fantastic occasion of growing. Where are you? Okay, Yolanda. And but for teachers, you know, I'm doing. I'm at a teacher training as well. And sometimes what I'm seeing this period is really depressing. I mean, depressing for the category. I wouldn't say that to you, but you're older enough to know, you're old enough to know that this is just human, is nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I study actually.
But
so, I mean,
the thing is that a lot of people, they didn't do anything at all before this period to get their training skills in digital teaching,
learning and teaching,
make it better. And now they're getting crazy because they've been like, they seems like they are obliged to do something they don't feel like. But I mean, this is just the way they should have done much longer, much before now. I mean, for me, when we started to stay in lockdown, I didn't lose one single lesson, because I knew how to use it. But you know, imagine people of my age or even older, that they seems like obliged to do something they don't feel like doing. And so of course you are the result of what of their mistakes, because these are just mistakes for me. But anyway, we are recording. Shh, I didn't say
that. No, I mean, just to close the topic, I think I agree. But the thing is, if you are scared of us copying, because all of this was made because she was scared about us copying, just do like a conversation exam, an oral exam. That's fine. I mean, I can talk about the topic because I studied, but I get
why are you
frustrated.
doing the written text? Yes.
Yeah, I get frustrated because I mean, I know I studied, but I don't have the time to like show that I actually did it. So I'm like, well, okay, I'll just you know write some
what was the
phrases,
subject?
some words, some like catch words that I remember, just like that, and I mean, just by heart. And
what subject are we talking about?
It's I don't know how it's called in English. It's infant psychology, I think, something like this.
Yeah.
Like, infants developing psicologia dello sviluppo. Non lo so come si dice.
Oh, which is the professor?
She's Mara Morelli. She's from Sapienza.
Oh, no.
I mean, we're also
no, I know very well some teachers that you were describing just completely, but she was in Roma 3.
No.
Yeah, and
no, we actually bully like Roma 3 guys. I don't know why. There is this thing of that, like there is this like this this feud between us and them. Like we hate them because we think that we're best. I don't know why, but like there is
I don't know either. I'm just, you know, I'm enrolled at the university. I at the moment I'm not attending it anymore because I can't do it. But some years ago I enrolled again, and so it was very fun to start and doing the many exam. I was great. I mean, I don't know if it was for the age, but you know, the first exam I did was English, of course. Because I say
what were you studying in
Scienze della Formazione?
Oh yeah, sì.
So it's always about training,
yeah.
But not in English, of course, because it was just everything in Italian. But you know, it was so fun for me, and even to watch the professor and the students from another point of view, I think is very, that was very important for my teaching experience, to grow my teaching experience, because to stay again within students, it was really fantastic. And I understood much more from that experience than from many years of teaching. That is really important to get into. This is real psychology. It's not the one that you find in your books, but anyway. Okay, so now I want to show you something. The assignment I'm going to give you at the end. I don't know the time. Let me see. No, we got plenty of time if you're not in a hurry.
No.
But now I'd like to show you something, and let's have a short discussion.
Oh, well.
Okay. That's another book that you don't have. So, why are the people doing these things? But have a look of them all together. Okay, so I make it even smaller so that you can see them all together. And how might the people be feeling? These are two questions they're going to ask you very often, using different kind of pictures, of course, but still is the same way of expressing a kind of language. So try to speak. I give you, for the moment, 2 minutes.
Okay. Do you want me to focus on just one, or do you want me to?
No, you have to do a whole.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And maybe you can take some examples if you want to get into details for something, but you should do the whole. Okay.
Okay. So, well, the thing is, I believe that they're doing these things for different reasons, obviously. And in all like 3 images, I think they're like physically involved in something very, very, you know, stressing, because like even if it's bad or if it's good, like if they're partying or if they're just, you know, moving something, or even if they're just playing, in all the 3 images, they are like, I think they are, you know, physically stressed, because they're doing like very intense physical activity. And I mean, I think they're feeling in very different ways, because I don't believe that the guys in the first picture are that happy about, you know, having to move things and furniture. And you know, I think that instead the guys in the second picture are pretty, you know, pretty much happier about you know, partying and dancing. And while in the third picture instead, I think that the guys are, you know, feeling something different because they're not just, you know, playing. They're, you know, I think that they're playing, you know, basketball, but they are feeling like they can actually do something that maybe they didn't have the chance to do it before, because, you know, they have, I think they have some physical disability. And I think that, you know, definitely there is a different feeling in them in that picture, because, you know, they actually feeling like the others in some way. And I mean, there is definitely a different message, but yeah, I think that they are pretty much feeling physically involved in what they're doing in different ways. And I think they're feeling different on the, you know, mental side of their activity, because they are very different activities.
Okay.
I mean,
okay, you do the 2 minutes, no problem. Okay, that's fine, that's okay. The only thing you should be more careful is when you say first picture, the second picture, the third picture, there's no written any, there's no number on them. So do not consider, why are you considered the first, this one, and this one. If you were Arabic, probably this one was the first one, and then the second, and then so just give the right position. So up on the left, on the right, bottom, top, and then describe the exact position, because there's no written the first, the second, or the third anywhere. Okay, so it's important, especially if you get more than 3. Here you have just 3 pictures going up and down, and that's quite easy, left and right. But if you're getting, you could even be showing 4 or 5, so that is much more difficult to get if there's no number. Of course, if there's number, but usually they are not showing you any number. They just put you pictures. So, or if you are physically there, you can point at them and say this one or that one. But be prepared to be more precise when you indicate which one is. Very good anyway. And this is very interesting, because the questions are, what do you imagine the nature of the relationship between these people to be? And how might the relationship change in the future?
Okay.
So try to speculate. And here, you know, the various steps of describing a photo. You know, probably that you start to describe, then compare, then speculate just at the end. Here you've been asked to speculate more than anything else. So it's not a lot about description, but it's more about what are you thinking and connecting. The very good thing that you did in the last part is just trying to connect one for the other. So your starting was excellent, was top, because you were finding out the physical state that they are all sharing together, okay? And that is the best thing you can do while you are starting the conversation, starting this speech. So this is very good to make the whole connection with the 3, and then start to make it to do with the different speculation on each one. Okay, let's go on.
Okay, so in this picture there are all couples, like there are 2 people in every picture, and but I mean, I think that they're like their relationship, I mean, I guess it's very different one from the other, because in the picture where there is the woman and the child, I think it's a mother and child relationship, and I think that she's like showing him how to do something, and she's trying to, you know, get him to actually help her doing these things, because I think that's for her a way to include her child in her like in her routine, in her family, and to bond more with him or her. And in the second picture, which is the one with the two adolescent guys with the two children, I mean, I think they're just friends, and I think they are playing, and they are, I think, building sandcastles, and I think they seem pretty happy. They seem very connected to each other. They're having very much fun. And instead, in the last picture, which is the one with the younger and the older woman, I think they might be colleagues, like university colleagues, or even work colleagues, or maybe like the older woman is showing something to the younger one. So maybe she's her teacher or her boss, and she's trying to, you know, let her understand something or show her something, or even she might be explaining her how to do something because she wants the younger woman to continue her job, because maybe she's, I mean, she looks old, so maybe she's going to retire soon, and she, you know, maybe has found her as a, you know, as someone who actually might continue her job when she's not working anymore. In the first picture, I think that their relationship instead is going to change. I mean, it's going to be better, because actually this woman seems very, you know, in love with her child, because she's trying to include him or her in her life in like that, you know, deep way. And instead, in the second picture, the one with the two guys, I don't know what you know the future is going to do with them, but I think that they are going, they might still be friends in the future, because they seem very connected one to each other. So I believe that in the future they're still going to be friends. I mean, I hope for them. And yeah, I think they will have fun again in the future. I mean, I hope they're not building sandcastles anymore, and they're, you know, playing and doing something different, something more adult. But I think they will be friends, because they look friends. They look very connected. They look very, you know, into each other. And yeah, I think this is. Did I do my 2 minutes?
Okay. Yes, they are the 2 minutes. They're again. Yes, they're again. Fantastic. What about if we have more pictures?
Okay.
Okay. So
I love the public transport.
Did you?
Yeah, because I think I have the most like the richer vocabulary for them, because I used to work in the
yes,
plane, so maybe I have something more to say. I'm not sure, but maybe.
You know, I was working on an airline too for many years. I wasn't a flight attendant because I was in the commercial part, but I've been working. Actually, it was when teaching was my second job, and my first job was I was working for an airline, an African airline.
Ooh,
yeah, for 7-8 years, a lot, when I was very young, just when I was back from England. So that was my past as well.
my dream job was actually to join Etihad, like the Emirati company.
Yes,
but
yes.
I mean, I heard a lot of bad stories, so I actually chose to.
Bad stories and nice stories, you find them in each kind of company you're going to work with, because of course, especially when the companies are quite big and wide and they gather a lot of people. But I think that the way you are facing it is just what is making the difference. No, not really the company itself, unless it's a company, of course, I don't know, for example, they are building some terrible appeal for war, so you don't want to stay there. But otherwise, I think that any company can be a part of your own company if you face the job as you should. That means not try to change what is around you, but try to change the way you are facing it.
Yeah,
that's it. I think
that's,
it's the only thing.
That's very
like in the university, you see, you are just living this kind of feeling every day, because you cannot change what they are doing, but you can change your feelings toward
real life nightmare, like
I know. Okay, so advantages and disadvantages of each of these means of transport for holiday travel when we are going to go on holiday again. And which of these types of transport will be the most popular for holiday travel in the future, hopefully in a very near future, because we are really fed up of not going around.
Okay, so there are, very different mean of transport, but it depends by where and what you actually want to do, in my opinion. Because if, for example, you're sailing, as we can see in the first picture on the upper part on the left, like the very first one, there is this, I think they're sailing, and if you're actually planning on going on a, sea holiday, or if you're planning to go near the coast, I think it's, a wonderful choice. The thing is, it depends it depends by the weather, actually, because if it's sunny and if it's, summer, you are actually having a really great time. But if for some reason rains or it's windy, well, in that case, it's not going to be very safe. So I think, that's a very specific mean of transport, which can be used in a situation in which you actually have everything planned. About the horse, well, actually, I don't really think you can go on holiday by riding a horse, but maybe there is some things there are some things that you can do riding horses, such as going on a small trip, or maybe if you just are going to take a walk with the horse, maybe in the woods or something. And I don't think it's a very useful mean of transport if you actually mean to stay and sleep somewhere not near your home, because I think that's not going to be that safe, because if there is any kind of a problem, you actually are on a horse, so it's it's very risky, in my opinion. The plane is good because it lets you travel very fast, and by taking it, you can actually reach very far countries and places. Obviously, the thing is that you miss something of the holiday itself, because a really big and good part of the holiday is the process from which you actually go from your place to another one. So the thing is that if you take the plane, that is so fast that you miss a lot of your holiday, obviously. But if you have to go to a very far place, you have to take the plane. There is no other way. Even, I mean, especially if you have to travel from one continent to another one, that is, you know, the most common thing that people do on holiday when they are planning on doing big holidays. The train is, I think, a good compromise between the plane and something like maybe the car, because the train gives you the chance to relax. It's fast, but it's not, you know, that fast, not as a plane. So you have the chance to enjoy a little bit of your travel, but you don't have, you know, to focus that much on maybe driving as you might have to do while you're actually, you know, taking the car, which is a great mean of transport if you are planning on doing some like road trip, some you know, those kind of trips that actually people used to take like back in the 70s and in the 80s, when you know, it was very common to go on trips by car or even by motorcycle, which I also see in the pictures. And I think that the choice between the car and the motorcycle depends on what you actually want to do. Because if you want to go alone or maybe in two people, you can actually take the motorcycle, which is, I think, cooler and faster, even if, you know, it might have some issues when it comes to sleep and all of those things, because at least if you go by car, you can actually sleep inside the car. But if you are, you know, riding a motorcycle, you actually have to bring your, you know, bed and everything with you in your backpack. But you know, it's cool. About the last picture, which by last picture I mean the helicopter, which is, you know, in the very bottom and right part of the image, I think that you know, there is really no point of choosing the helicopter over the plane, except that I mean, I actually never took an helicopter, but I believe it's very cool. So, you know, it's great if you're rich, if you have money, and if you want, you know, to have all the pros of the plane, but you also want to enjoy like your trip. Because I think that the view from the helicopter is, you know, it's better than the one that you have on the plane. So, you know, I think that the helicopter might be a good choice. And the thing is, I think that in the future, the most used mean of transport will be the plane. That is because the plane is like the faster, the cheapest, and you know, it gives you the chance to actually reach very far places. So I think that in the future, the plane is going to be like I mean, the plane is going to be what the car actually is today in the near future. But I mean, if the situation with the COVID is going to end, where actually there's actually going to be the chance to do so, because at the moment, you know, we actually cannot travel by plane because it's not safe. So when all the situation is going to end, I think that the plane in the future is going to be like the most used one, in my opinion.
Okay, dear, that's okay. The only thing, so, you know, I'm not supposed to interrupt you anyway, because during the exam they do not interrupt you anyway. But I was just having some notes. Remember, depends on, it's not depends by. So you did a very, I'm not gonna discuss you about the content of what you say, because of course the content is neither wrong nor right. It's just your content because they are your idea. So you are not going to discuss your idea. But and I think when you were talking about, for example, the car and the bike, like an old way of traveling, actually, don't forget that that the horse was the first transportation and holiday means of transport that we have in the past. So actually it's probably the most highlighting difference that we can have between the past and the present, because actually you were talking about horse riding like you know, something very exclusive that you can do just for short period of time, short itineraries and so on. That is true, but don't forget that in the past it was the only one that we had. So the changement has been really astonished, considering on what we were talking about. And then when you were talking about the train, you would say the period of time you're spending during from your destination to your destination, just use the word, you never use the word journey. So actually the journey is what you were describing with 4 or 5 words. So the period of time and you spend from your home to your destination, that is the journey. Okay, so you can use it because you know it, you just miss this word. And okay, motorcycle, if you have any time that you think you have more than one word to say the same word, use it, because I'm sure that you know motorcycle and motorbike. So
yeah, I do, but it's just, you know, when it comes to speaking, I freeze. I don't know why. I just
no, don't worry. You're great. You can just because I'm sure 100% that you know all these words. So instead of like when you're writing, usually you are much more careful of not repeating the same word and using some other words that express the same ideas because you got them. And when you're writing, you do it naturally. This kind of fluency has to be a part of your expression ways, because it's just, but I mean, it was fantastic, it was good. I mean, it was almost top marks, so no problem at all.
Sure. I mean, I know that you are sure. I mean, you're a teacher,
yeah,
but
I mean, it's the first time that you are talking about something like that precisely after a while. So I think that you have to even to cancel the rust that you have all around your brain and your expressions way. But it was very good. So what you can do, darling, it's on your book. We're going to do it together next time. Always the speaking part. And so you told me that you were doing up to 38, something like that.
Yeah.
That is the writing. And you send me. So I'm going to send you the revision of what you did. And let's go on. You can try to do the listening, not the training, just do the exam practice. You see, in this text, you got the training and the exam part practice. Actually, it would be useful to do them both, but as you don't have so much time to follow.
No, I actually have time now because I actually took my last exam, so I'm free. I'm free.
Yes, but your exam is in a month. Your advanced exam.
Yeah. But I mean, if I have to do exercises, I mean, I can actually do. I mean, I can actually spend 6 hours doing them. It's fine. I mean.
Wow. Fantastic. Okay, so
you can, you know, actually assign me even 30 pages. I'm doing them. It's fine because you know, I'm trained.
Don't ask for more. Yeah, don't tell me. So. Don't tell me. That's fantastic. Okay, so So do both training and exam practice, because actually they're the same. It's just the exam practice are a bit more precisely about, you know, they are, is the form that they are doing. You see, if you say, for example, take page 51.
Yeah.
I show you the difference. That's why I want it to be more, so page 51 is not the pattern, the usual pattern that you will find in an exam, because you see, listen to the recording and answer these questions about it. So you have different kind of questions according to the context, the relationships, the opinion, the detail, and the function. This is, of course, it's not like what you will find in your exam, because in your exam, as we have done at the beginning of this lesson, is completely different from that, but it's coming from this kind of reflection. So you should, this is just to prepare your way of listening in the proper way for the exam. So you can do it, this one, that is 51, but do not expect you will find it in the exam, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is, but is, I think you will find it much more, maybe even too much easy for what you are expecting from an exam, but it's not what you'll find. In the following page, that is 52, you will see exactly the same that we have done at the beginning of our meeting. Okay. Yeah. So it's just the right form that you will find it in the exam. So I think you can try to do the whole listening.
Like
try even to do it with or without headphones, because you don't know where are you going to take your exam. Where?
In British school in Ostia.
So that is quite okay, because the rooms are small, so there's not, you know, I'm thinking about all kind of noises that you can have around. So do it even without headphones, because if you don't have any headphones in the exam, so there's no use of trying to train you in a kind of protection environment when you will not have it during the exam. So trying to do it like it was in a normal room there. And so do all the listening up to page 60. I'm going to send you the files via WhatsApp. That all the audio files, I mean.
Yeah.
And what else? Let me see. Jump on the speaking, because we are probably going to do it together. And then let's start to do the test. So we finish with next time. We're going to do all the speaking together.
And we finish test 1.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that for next time, that's okay. And and so we're going to get a bit more into text 2. So I think that in a month, having this kind of rhythm, we can arrive at your exam by finishing the whole book.
Yeah.
That would be our aim.
Okay. Yeah, because the exam is on the 24th of February, so it's, you know, like one full month.
One full month
from today.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me write down this assignment that I gave to you, because to me as well, it's important. You know, not having the digital version of the book, I'm lost. I'm just the opposite of the without computer, I'm lost. Okay, so let's start from listening. from page 51 to 60. Send files. That is my note. And then next meeting, we are going to do speaking. Okay. And then I'm going to correct as well your writing and send it back to you. You were writing a lot. I mean, your writing is so so intense.
Yeah, I think the writing part is like the part where I excel the most, because even
Italian
you know
students.
in Italian I've always been very good at writing essays
but
and stuff.
This is a merit, but even a fault of our schools, because almost all Italian students, especially girls, not boys, you know, that they don't love to write so much as girls do. Usually, I don't know why, but that's true. And in a school, they are giving us, especially in the high school, they're giving us a lot of homework and training on writing, both in any kind of, I don't know why, probably because it's much more easier to gather a group and to correct some writing than trying to listen to people. But this is the result is in a lack of good speaking skills, both in Italian, especially in Italian, and of course in English, because of course when you are at a high school, you are not so many occasions of speaking English in your class.
Absolutely.
I know that you could be more than 20 people, so to let 20 people talk is difficult, but believe me, it's not impossible. If you want to do it, the problem is that even the teachers, they're not so well prepared to do this kind of open discussions.
Yeah, I've always been shocked by how little English my high school teachers knew. Like it was shocking. Like sometimes, I mean, not to to actually, I mean, I don't want to sound
judging. You're not.
Yeah, but like sometimes actually I used to correct them about stuff, like easy stuff, not the hard stuff, like easy grammar stuff.
My children, you know, I got children at primary school, they do correct their teachers in English now, and they're coming to me and say, teacher, she said that, but I know it's wrong. I say, no, probably you didn't understand. It was about misunderstanding. And they say, no, she said that. And because, you know, when, of course, it's coming up, you know that you can teach English in public school after 3-month course from 0.
My God, that's okay. Wow.
And you know that if I took the proficiency 30 years ago, my proficiency is not considered as a valid certificate in Italian school to teach to primary.
Oh my God.
That's why, you know, so sometimes, and I, as I told you, I'm teaching to teachers and a lot of them, they don't know how to, I mean, probably they are very good teachers, but, you know, teaching English is something different, I think. And so when they arrive at high school, some they are very good because probably not because they are mother tongue, just because they are good teachers, but you know, sometimes they don't want to run the risk that you were just mentioning, that is that their students are going to correct their mistakes. So what to do to avoid this problem? Do a lot of writing, because with the writing you can you don't run the risk of making any kind of mistakes, because you don't speak, you don't say a word, you just correct. You got plenty of books and guides to do it, so that's much safer for all of them.
That's true.
That's why, of course, you know, to let them speak together, you have first you have to manage a class, and you have to manage a lot of people, heads that are just expressing themselves, and this is already a risk even in your own language for many teachers. But then, I mean, the problem is you have to be prepared and you have to be trained to do it. But anyway, we don't care. Now we're working on it. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And I hope it would be useful to stay with me. I hope that even if I don't think that Eva can do it before you're taking your exam. I don't think so.
No, me neither.
I'm pretty sure she can't. And okay, so tell me when are you going to? Are we going to meet next time? Because I'm getting a bit lost on this.
I think it would be,
because you know, like you do a jigsaw puzzle, I have to, or a Sudoku. You know the Sudoku, I have to.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think it would be on Wednesday. I think it's by well, I'll just check. It's on Wednesday, I'm sure of that. I'm not sure about the time. I think it is, I'll just check, blah, 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 blah. Good morning. Okay, 16 to 17.
Let me, I'm sharing with you, so you see.
Oh, okay, I see.
How I
yeah,
say.
Alice, by Wednesday.
Oh, you see that? Sorry.
Yes, fine.
Okay. Yes, I put it here. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. That's
Can we meet face to face?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
definitely. Yes, because you know, I'm trying to do it the day I'm doing online. For example, on Tuesday I got all online because I'm not moving from here, this position, I'm just changing lesson. But on Wednesday in the morning I'm at school, and in the evening and afternoon I'm here at Affabulazione. So you can come at Affabulazione. So as I told you, when you come, just come a couple of minutes before, because when you come to Affabulazione, you have to follow all the safety rules, anti-COVID. So that's why I don't know if I told you about the €5 per month, but just once.
Yeah.
€5, that's it, because we have this person that, you know, when it's going, I'm going out, you are going out, and after I have another group, so they just sanitize everything, they just clean up, and we open the window and we do everything in the room. So if you come just 5 minutes before, that's enough, because you have even to fill the form where you say that you declare that you're not under COVID and so on. And that's it. So meanwhile, if I'm correcting your writing, I'm going to send it to you so you can have a look. I think that's fine. That's okay. Okay.
So on Wednesday, I bring you the money of today's lesson, and of Wednesday plus the €5, so it will be 65.
Actually, you can even do everything at the end. We can count everything at the end. Or you pay for, I don't know, 4 or 3, not to do every time, because that is my only fault. Actually, my weak thing is to deal with administrations.
Okay.
So actually, with my normal student, I'm really terrible with everything regarding figures. I'm just lost. So usually, as I work in Affabulazione, I got the secretary there. But for you, it's different because I'm just taken from Eva. So I'm doing something different that is the same as Eva. So I'm dealing directly with you. I cannot use my secretary, unfortunately. I have to do by myself. And so if I do time by time, believe me, I'm getting lost.
Okay.
So just think of an idea, and we can do it for 3, 4, 5 lessons, meetings, or at the end, at the beginning, as you wish. I don't care. It's important that we do less actions regarding figures.
Less transfers as possible.
Yeah, please,
Okay.
please.
I see.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay,
so
that's
I think
fine.
I'll just
the €5 for the first. That's enough, so we can go on,
Okay.
and then we can do it
Okay, that's
whenever.
fine.
Okay. Yes, because I didn't have your surname is Del Bove.
Yes.
Okay, because I see there, but I didn't know it before. Okay, so I think I got everything.
Okay.
And see you on Wednesday then.
Yeah, see you on Wednesday.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And
You're most
I'll
welcome.
Sorry?
Yes, didn't say anything. Okay.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to the hairdresser now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I hope so. Listen, you know, some.
I think I am buying the Dyson Airwrap.
Wow.
I would like to, but I mean, it costs like €500. That's why I actually didn't buy it yet. But I'm you know, I'm like wanting it so bad. So yeah.
You're not. I mean, you're. If it is a girl of how old are you? 20.
21.
21. So I mean, I know girls of 21 that they wish and they desire much more bigger stuff.
I mean, I have like long-term dreams and short-term dreams. One of the short-term ones is the Dyson, but I have long-term ones also.
Okay, let me know.
Okay.
Bye-bye, darling. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.